ああ、これ飲み物も欲しくなっちゃうね。コーラとか。
This is Zez on a Gen analysis video. Now if you found this video useful, please do give a like and subscribe to my channel for more Last Cloudia content.
どっかで見た顔だと思ったらてめえ、朝霧玄か。ゴミみてえな心理本書いてたマジシャンだ。
でたらめばかりだ。その口の紡ぐ言葉が羽のようにめっぽう軽い。
Alright, so Gen, a unit with attacks that has no element. All his physical attacks including autos, skills, and special, scale off STR and int. Now starting from his auto attack, he's able to target the enemy anywhere on the map. Right, so what's interesting is he actually does 2 attacks. Now one is on his target, hitting a small AoE around it, doing 2 hits. There's another attack around him, which seems to have a slightly bigger AoE. Now that would also hit for 2 hits. Now if the target is near him, it will get hit for 4 hits. So next, we have his skills. S1, it's 7 hits, 12 SCT. It attacks around the target with an AoE and has a 10% chance of curse. Now the target can also be anywhere on the map. Now S2, this is 50 SCT with only 1 stock. Now it recovers 5 SCT to all allies after 5 seconds and it has a 1.2 second cast time. So the total, it will take 6.2 seconds after him casting for your units to get the 5 SCT. Now S3, 12 hits with 36 SCT. Now the target can be also anywhere on the map and it's an AoE hit similar to S1. It has about 30% chance to reduce opponent's physical damage by 20%, lasting 40 seconds. Now his ultimate, S4, reduces all of the enemy's lowest resistance by 20, and it gives all allies 50 MP. That comes after 5 seconds. The elemental resistance can go below 100. So you will become negative 120. And it's more of a, win harder mechanic for me. And his trait 1, when physically attacking, there is about a 2% chance to inflict a plus 30% damage taken debuff lasting 20 seconds. This does not seem to affect magic though. So this feels really like a good ability that you can line it up with a potential of huge damage here. Right, so trait 2. At the start of battle and when he's below 30% HP, he gives allies a 25% more physical damage, science magic damage, and they all gain 1 attraction for 20 seconds. So this is an interesting skill which makes killing him slightly harder and also kind of dissuades people from focusing in taking him down first. Now overall, Gen as a unit, he has no element, which allows him to not get resisted too much, coupled with having the ability to treat front attacks as back attacks. That further buffs his attack, while it's possible to build him as a physical attacker, right? Personally, I see him as a secondary DPS, mainly to inflict a negative 30% debuff and flipping of enemies buff, which does not have innate. He does not have an innate damage cap boost, which hurts his damage output a bit. This also translates to the next point, right? Good at MP regen with Goddess Kiss and high damage as it scales off damage done. So meaning to say, his Goddess Kiss will allow him to gain back quite a significant amount of MP. So that will probably make him like a mana battery. Now this allows him to have an ample supply of MP. Question is, what do you use his MP for? Now mage is a stretch, but possible. Not ideal for me. Debuffer or buffer sounds a lot better. He already has some, inbuilt debuffs that is really nice. Now possible debuffs that he can put on, like Spirit Riot, reducing of enemy heals, Elemental Circles, which will further decrease enemies' resistances. Now another unique thing about this dude, wait, he's a dude, right?
G まで行っちゃってんの？だけどね、仕事は楽だよ。それでアイドルとか復活させれば夢のハーレム生活。
ハーレムって何？
Is his SCT recovery to allies with his S2. Now this also takes away one potential damage skill from him, and it's one of the reasons why I don't see him as a full damage dealer for me. Glass Record is another one, right? We have this skill for a while, but the usability is really limited as we didn't have units with that sort of MP sustainability to make this into a real build. So 60 MP for 10 SC and a 10 SCT, 60 MP for a heal and plus 10 SCT, this is kind of expensive. Now with Gen, this might be possible. Now another question is, how do you build your team with him in it? Like, who does he replace? You can run him with a healer, a mage, and a physical DPS. Kind of a standard team, right? However, if you want, you would want your physical DPS to be effective in his or her element, right? He doesn't get resisted by the opponent too much, or have a the weapon Trishula. But the downside is that you only have one physical damage dealer, which might in turn you might take longer to kill units or to clear the stage basically. Now replacing the healer for another DPS would be most optimum. However, you need to have enough SC on Gen to have him play as a support / healer, which is definitely possible if you are hardworking enough in this event itself. Now as the buffs, he mainly buff physical damage dealers and science magic users, kind of limits the magic department. Therefore you can run 2 physical damage dealer and 1 mage, right, with him acting as a support and a healer. And as for Arena, he does have a few interesting skills. However, when when I was doing this video, Arena was down, so I can see him being useful over there. So possible builds on him. First up, building him heals and supportive spells. MP ups definitely to increase his capacity. Survivability, if you put him harder to kill, he will be able to support your team for a longer period of time. HP ups, awakening. These are just some of the things that I see really good on him. Oh yes, and his paid gear. First up, we have Magic Psychology. It's an accessory. I like the 40 MP, and it gives auto aura and 1000 damage cap to his physical and magic criticals. Right, this will allow him to do more damage and potentially gain back more MP. Usable. If you are gonna run him as damage anyways, this is gonna be important as it gives the damage cap increase. However, do take note that it's only on his crit. Also, as a mage, he doesn't really have an innate elemental damage boost on him. Right, so we're gonna move on to the next paid gear. Now this is the kimono. Slight increase, decent defensive stats. Now it gives auto protection and immovable object, which is harder to be interrupted. So if you're looking to build him as a support and heals, this might be very useful. It saves you SC for immovable object, which is required even if you are casting spells like magic or even glass record. Alright? Because if you equip him with Red Moonstone and high level magic chant, he still needs a slight cast time to get Glass Record off. And you might not be able to get your spell off if you get interrupted. So, which is really bad for a healer. The Dark Resist is nice, and together with Illness, resistance, that is one of his weakest status ailment. So I can see that if you are building, you're not going for damage, you're going for support, this would be probably a pretty decent item on him. Alright, last Cloudians, hope this information is useful for you, and do let me know in the comment section down below what do you think about Gan and how would you build him. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. So this is Xez here, and I'm signing out. Peace!
俺は誰を切ってでも勝ち馬になる。